Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Erwin Emma Tunan and welcome to my presentation, the cash flow analysis. So first, a cash flow is essentially the movement of cash into and out of a business firm. It is the cycle of cash inflows and cash outflows that determine the firm's solvency. A cash flow is a term that refers to payments received, which is the cash inflows, and payments or deposits made, which is the cash outflows. Cash inflow can be represented by positive numbers, and cash outflows can be represented by negative numbers. So here we go now to the cash flow analysis. So what is a cash flow analysis? It is the study of the changes in the financial position of a business enterprise during a given period on the basis of cash. It is a method of analyzing the operating, investing, and financing activities of a company. The primary goal of cash flow analysis is to identify, in a timely manner, cash flow problems as well as cash flow opportunities. The primary document used in cash flow analysis is the cash flow statement. What about the cash flow statement? This is useful to managers, lenders, and investors because it translates the earnings reported on the income statement, which are subject to reporting regulations and accounting decisions, into a simple summary of how much cash the company has generated during the period in question. The statement of cash flows will give us the details as to what are the reasons or causes of changes in cash balance, and it is grouped into three activities, namely the operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. So let's discuss now the operating activities. So ano po ba ang sinasabing operating activities? It shows the inflows and outflows of the normal operating activities. Ibig sabihin po nun, those activities that are normal with the business organization. Ano po yung tinatawag na normal na particular to a business organization? It will depend on a business model of a particular business. For example, if it is a merchandising business, so ito ay buying and selling. The normal operations is buying inventories and selling those inventories. Yun yung normal operation niya. How about naman po pag ito ay manufacturing? If it is a manufacturing type of business, obviously, the normal operating activities are related to manufacturing of goods, the buying of raw materials, the production of those raw materials into a process, and then later on into finished goods. And those goods are sold to the customers. So let's move on to the cash inflows under operating activities. So it means ano-ano daw po yung pumapasok na pera under operating activities. First, sale of goods and service performed. So lahat ng pera na pumapasok sa company dahil nakabenta sila ng goods or nag-perform sila ng service, that is an inflow under operating activity. Second, from royalties, fees, commissions, and other revenues. Pag nakatanggap sila ng royalties, fees, commissions, and other revenues, all those are under operating activities, that is inflow, nakakadagdag siya. So ano-ano naman daw po ang cash outflows under operating activities? So pag sinabing outflows, ano yung mga dahilan kung bakit lumalabas yung pera under operating activities? The first one is payments to suppliers of goods and services. So once nagbayad si company sa kanyang mga suppliers, either goods man yon or services, that's an outflow under operating activities. Second, payments to employees. Kapag nagbayad si company ng salary sa mga employees. Third, payments sa mga taxes. Fourth, payments for interest expense. Let's say nangutang si company, yung interest nun, that is outflow under operating activities. And last, payments for other operating activities. So ano po ba yung other operating expenses? Ito po ay halimbawa, utility expense, rent expense, travel expense, and so forth. As long as those expenses are cash outflows under operating activities. Another group of activity that is being presented in the statement of cash flow is the investing activities. It shows the inflows and outflows affecting the non-current assets. So anything that will affect the non-current assets or non-current asset portion of the balance sheet are considered investing activities. Pero make sure that what makes it change in the non-current asset, kasi yung mga non-current asset, ito yung mga property, plant, and equipment. So make sure it is a cash transaction kasi this is a statement of cash flow. So paano naman po ang inflows and outflows sa investing activities? Cash inflows. Paano pumapasok ang pera sa investing? First, sale of property. Pag nagbenta si company ng kanyang property or equipment, yung pagpasok ng pera, that is an inflow to the company. Second, sale of investments in debt or equity securities. So let's say, nag-invest si company, nagbenta siya ng equity securities nila. That is an inflow under investing activities. Third, collection on notes receivable investment. Kapag nakakolekta sila ng pera under notes receivable, under investment, that is cash inflow. So ano naman po yung mga cash outflows? Paano naman lumalabas ang pera under investing activities? First, payments to acquire property and equipment. So kapag nagbabayad si company para makabili siya ng property at saka equipment, that is cash outflow under investing activity. So let's say bumili sila ng sasakyan, bumili rin sila ng bagong computer equipment. Yung pagbayad na yun, that is cash outflow sa investing. Second, payments to acquire debt or equity securities. Kung mag-a-acquire ng pagkakautang si company or bibili sila ng equity securities, that is also outflow. Lastly, payments to notes receivable in investment. So kapag ang company naman ang magbabayad sa kanyang mga notes receivable under investment, that is outflow. Let's proceed now to the third and last activity, which is the financing activities. It shows the inflows and outflows affecting the non-current liabilities and equity section of balance sheet. If there are cash transactions affecting those accounts under the non-current liabilities of the balance sheet and the equity section of the balance sheet, those cash transactions are considered financing activities. So, cash inflows. Paano pumapasok ang pera sa financing activities? First, investments by owners. So kapag nag-invest ang owner sa company na cash yung ininvest niya, that is cash inflow under financing. Next, issuance of notes payable in financing. So let's say nangutang sila sa isang financing firm. So may dumating na pera sa kanila kasi nangutang nga sila under promissory note. So that is inflow. Cash outflows. Ang paglabas naman ng pera under financing. Payments to owners in the form of withdrawals. Let's say, nag-withdraw ng pera si owner sa company. That is cash outflow. Payments to settle notes payable financing. So this time around, kapag nagbayad na si company ng kanyang notes payable under financing, so that is cash outflow. Again, in a statement of cash flow, there are three activities. We have the operating, investing, and financing activities. Ang kailangan nyo lang pong tandaan is yung pinag-uusapan sa statement of cash flow ay yung paglabas at pagpasok ng cash. We have two different methods in presenting the statement of cash flow. We have the direct method and indirect method. So first, the direct method. This method draws data from the income statement using cash receipts and cash disbursements from operating activities. The net of the two value is the operating cash flow. And second, the indirect method. This method starts with net income and converts it to OCF or operating cash flow by adjusting for items that were used to calculate net income but did not affect the cash. So, yung direct method muna yung example ko later kasi ito naman yung usually na ginagamit. So, I have here a general ledger, a cash ledger to be specific. So, para madaling gumawa ng statement of cash flow, ang pagbabasihan parati ay ang cash ledger. So, ito yung example ng cash ledger ni ABC Company. For example lang po ha. What we are going to do now is classify natin lahat ng transaction, lahat ng amount. If it's an investing, operating, or kung financing or financing activities pa. The first one is the investment of owner. Di ba kapag po investment ng owner, ito po ay financing. Bilang lang po natin F. So, the next is purchase of service vehicle. Pag bumili ng service vehicle, that is investing. Payment of electricity, that is operating. Payment of insurance, that is operating. Payment of computer, so bumili ng equipment, that is investing. Owner's drawing, pag nag-withdraw si owner ng cash, it is under financing. Service revenue, pag kumita si owner, that is operating. Cash donation, pag nag-donate si company, that is also operating. Payment on service vehicle, this is under investing. Payment on rent, nagbayad ng renta, this is under operating. Payment on salaries, nagbayad ng salaries ng employees, this is operating. So, alright. That's why pinresent ko po sa inyo kanina yung mga inflows and outflows ng classification of activities. Dapat po aware tayo doon at naintindihan para po pagdating sa statement of cash flow, madali na lang po natin classify. To be visible enough, kulayan natin yung mga na-classify natin. For example, lahat ng financing activities, kulayan natin ng yellow. So, kulayan po natin, or i-highlight po natin ng yellow. And then, lahat naman po ng investing ay highlight natin ng color blue. So, tatlo po ang investing. And then, lahat naman po ng walang color considered na po as operating activities. So, one more thing po, para mas madali natin maintindihan lahat. Lahat po ng nasa debit side po na to, ito po ay ang mga inflows, and credits ay ang mga outflows sa statement of cash flows. Okay, so let's start analyzing a statement of cash flow. So first, we should put the company's name here, which is ABC Company, on the first line. And the second line, kung anong financial statement. So this time around, ito po ay statement of cash flow. And then the third line, ang example po dito ay for the month ended August 31, 2020. And then as you can see here po, nakahiwalay na po lahat ng operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. So first is cash flow from operating activities. We have, unahin po natin yung mga inflows. We have cash receipts from customers. Ito po yung service revenue. Siyempre po kumita po yung company, galing po yung kinita na yun na cash from customers. That's why inflow is debit 135,000. So, positive kasi po inflow. So, the rest na po na matitira ay yung mga outflows po, yung mga walang kulay po na to. Outflows po yung from operating activities. So, we have payment to utilities. Ito po yung electricity bill. So, bakit po iba po yung wordings? It's up to you naman po kung paano yung wordings or phrases as long as naiintindihan po at synonymous naman po dun sa account transaction. So, payment to utilities, we have credit, 1,600. Deduction po siya, that's why it is negative. Payment to insurance, credit po ulit, outflow, papalabas po yung pera, that's why it is negative 12,000. Payment for cash donation, credit, 10,000. Payment to rent, credit also, 11,000. And payment to salaries, credit, 12,000. Actually po dapat open and close parenthesis po itong mga negative signs para po may indication na those are deduction. But since babaguhin din naman po ni Excel na negative, na ganun din po yung magiging result po ng sagot. So, ang result po dito or ang total po ng cash flow from operating activities ay pagtototalin po itong inflows and outflows. So, pagpaplasin po lang po lahat para po mag-take effect po yung negative signs. So, ang sagot po ay 88,400 pesos. So, positive po. Kaya po ang nakalagay po ay provided by. Let's proceed naman po dito sa cash flow from investing activities. So, as you can see here po, yung mga color blue po na investing activities na to, wala po siyang inflow, puro outflows po siya. That means, negative po yung magiging result dito. So, papalabas po kasi yung pera. So, we have payment to acquire service vehicle. 200,000 po siya. So, bakit 215,000 po nakalagay rito? Kasi po may isa pa pong transaction ng August 25. Payment on service vehicle po na 15,000. So, ilan po siya din eh. That's why naging negative 215,000 po siya credit po. And then, payment to acquire computer equipment, credit po ulit, 10,000. So, ang result po dito sa cash flow from investing ay negative 225,000 pesos. So, ang nakalagay po dito ay net cash flow used in investing. Used in po yung nakalagay. So, kung positive po yan, ang ilalagay po ay provided by. But since negative po, used in po yung nakalagay. And now, let's move on to one last activity. Ito pong financing activities. So, meron lang po tayo dito dalawang transaction. Isa pong inflow at isang outflow. So, cash received as investment by the owner. Debit, meron po tayong debit na 1,500,000 and payment or withdrawals by owner na credit of 5,000. So, ito-total po natin ito. So, ang answer po ay 1,495,000 positive. That's why net cash provided by financing activities.
So, hindi pa po natatapos dito. Meron, pag-aadin po natin itong tatlong result from operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. We have positive of 88,400 pesos, negative 225,000 pesos. So, ito po ay deduction. And then, positive po na 1,495,000. So, ang net increase in cash po ay 1,358,400 positive po. Kung ito po naman ay negative, magiging net decrease po ang sagot or ang nakalagay dito, net decrease in cash. So, how we will know po na tama itong answer po natin? So, i-compare lang po natin itong net increase in cash po dito po sa ating ledger. Iparehas po ang sagot. That means tama po. So, hindi pa po ulit natatapos dito yan. If meron pong cash balance ang company at the beginning of the period, you should add it here po sa net increase in cash. But since walang cash balance sa ABC company, so, zero po ang nakalagay dito. Pero kung meron man po, ilalagay po dito at i-add po kayo net increase in cash. But this time around, wala. So, that means it is zero po. Wala pong amount na nakalagay or underline lang po ang nakalagay. Ika-copy lang po natin yung 1,358,400 dito po kay cash balance at the end of the period. So, ito po yung itsura ng statement of cash flow para po mas makita po natin ng mas malaki. So, that's the end of my report. Thank you po and God bless.